Welcome back to What Arty Noobs for General Disturbance. This is the Lorraine 15551. It's a Tier 8 French SPG. This one's located on the south spawn of Ghost Town, and it's under the command of TarheelRambler. And he's in the TNATN clan. Game on. Well, just like the Lorraine 15550, this one is derived from the Lorraine 40-ton tank. It was a different design with a different placement for the gun. Unfortunately, it didn't get built. I'm afraid, yes, after they looked at it, the prototype, I'm afraid it didn't get anywhere. It was a 1951 design. That's where it gets the 51 in the name. But it's a 155mm, and that's capable of doing 680 alpha and 45mm of pen. Rouse out. Oh, that was a big bit of damage there. And the Lorraine, it wasn't the Lorraine, it was an LT432, died to the Carré. Okay, we've now got an Emil 2. The standard reload on this Arty is 28.76 seconds. Oh, we got a direct hit again. 217 hit points this time. He's got a reload time of 24.89. Now with the extra HE, he's capable of doing 830 alpha, 56mm of pen, but it's only got a 4-meter burst radius. Now he's working on the basis that the Emil might have moved up. It didn't. But we have got this guy who's sitting a little further over, the Tiger 2. Rounds out.
That was almost a direct hit.
Well, he stunned it as it's pulling back. And he is taking damage, so he's getting stun assist. And quite a lot at that. There's the other Tiger 2. In fact, actually, that was a Tiger Mouse, not Tiger 2. I was reading the minimap wrong. Okay, he's loaded. Rounds out straight away.
That one shook him up good.
And he hits the Tiger Mouse again. Lots of stun assist. In fact, actually got track damage off that one. Go for the Tiger 2 this time. Just his aim and rouse out.
Now that's the kind of hit we like.
He's getting some lovely hits, one after the other. It does help that he's actually at the right angle to get the shots in there. Going up the hill was probably the best decision. Ah, now that's an M4A1 Revelry, say, with a 105mm main gun. Okay, that looks better. Got a direct hit on that one. Okay, object 274A. Switches, there's a Foch there. Rounds out. Oh, that was a direct hit, so he is getting hits. Guy thought if he was on the reverse slope, he'd be safe. He wasn't. But the 274 is still there. Foch is coming around the corner. And yes, he got hit while he was stunned. So it is working out for TarheelRambler. He's lined up. Lets it settle. Rounds out. How did that miss him? It actually went behind him, but it still stunned him all the same. And more stun assist. It all counts. See what we can get with the next shot. It's a one shot now. Rounds out. Yes! That was another direct hit. I'm surprised that one didn't kill him. Oh, well, that's why. It only left him on 2 hit points. Well, this shell will definitely wipe him out. If we get it near, he's loaded. Rounds out. It went long. Oh. Our guys are bound to move up now. If they know he's only got 2 hit points. Well, we've left the Foch. Oh, just as he died. We're 5 up on the enemy at this moment. They are taking a pasting. Is that Rebel say he dies? Okay, the Emil's hiding behind the building, but he actually got taken out by the Yag Tiger. Got an Object 704 right up the hill. He's trying to make it difficult by going behind that that wall. And the enemy Arty, or one of them, has actually been located. In fact, there is only one left, and he's just been... Oh, that was one of them. There is still one out there. It's a GW Tiger P. They've lost their T30. This game is going to be over very, very shortly. There's only 3 enemies remaining. Well, unfortunately, that shell landed a little way away from that. Oh, but he got a ram kill. The T49 was taken out by the RU-251. And now that means there's only 2 left. The Object 704 up on top of the hill and the GW Tiger P. They've killed the 704 and there's the GW Tiger and he's gone as well. And that is the end of the game. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was a first-class tank for TarheelRambler of TNATN in the Lorraine 15551. He managed to get a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 7, and he got a Confederate medal as well for hitting more of the enemy than anyone else on his team because he didn't get any kills. And in fact, if he had killed that Foch, who only had 2 hit points left, that would have ruined it because it would have taken away the Confederate. So he actually did himself a favor by not killing that guy inadvertently. And also he got a win rate of 1,303, which is very good. Let's have a look at the team score. Well, we can see that the highest damage in that game was the Skoda T56, who got 3,570 hit points of damage, and that guy picked up a tank sniper. Second highest damage was Concept 1B with 2,851, and the third highest damage was Arty, who managed 2,238. We can see here TarheelRambler managed 1,284 hit points of damage. He was only beaten by 1 member of the enemy team, but he was also beaten by 5 members of his own team. So in fact, he got 7th place overall on damage. The Yag Tiger, by the way, got the Pascucci's medal. And of course, he also got 5 kills, which was the highest number of kills. 3 kills went to the Arty, 2 kills went to the Skoda T56 and the E75. Nobody on the enemy team managed to get more than 1 kill. And in fact, only 2 players got kills at all in that game. When it came to base XP, we can see the highest was the Skoda T56, who managed 1,184. But in second place, it was TarheelRambler, 938 to him. 901 went to the Yag Tiger. So all the 3 players who actually got medals managed to get a high base XP. But it was the Skoda who's the only one who managed to get over 1,000 base in the game. TarheelRambler got 12 shots off, 5 direct hits, no penetrations, but 10 splash. Damage of 1,284, all of it at more than 300 meters. Damage 6 of the enemy, didn't get any kills, but as I said, that earned him the Confederate. So obviously it worked in his case. 473 hit points of damage assist and 2,791 hit points of stun assist off 9 stuns. So a very good game for stun assist, and that's why he got the first class tanker. On a premium count, he actually made 33,317 credits from that game. And he also took away 4,221 experience points as well because it was ×3 day. So our first battle is a really good one. for TarheelRambler. Let's have a look at the second battle in the Lorraine 15551. The second battle is on the mines map, and this time round the commander is m0sayyeed of the H0RNY clan. The less said about that, the better. Game on. Well, he's not moving very far from his spawn point. I think he's actually, yes, he's moving over to the other side. Bit dangerous if the enemy gets the hill, because he might be spotted. Okay, enemy in sight, lots of them. Now he's loaded. Fires the round in. Unfortunately, he doesn't get any kills. And in fact, it looks like we've lost the hill. So you might have to find cover quickly. If he stays out where he is, he will more than likely get spotted. He is loaded. And he wipes out the Progetto with just one shot. But he has to find a new position, surely. There is an enemy looking out over the south edge of the cliff. Or there was. And the ELC has actually changed position. In the meantime, one of the enemy Artys has been spotted. It's the school bus. And he is loaded. Rounds out. Oh, he got that one as well. So 2 kills now from m0sayyeed. I think it is m0sayyeed actually, but I'm sure he won't mind if we get it just slightly wrong. Okay, he's got that lined up on the Mars. And the Mars is gone, so he can't use that one. But the Concept 1B is coming in. Rounds out. Just over the top of him. I'm surprised that he hasn't moved into cover. It's very dangerous being out in the open. Especially when his teammate is also firing in. He's an M53, M55. It's a tier 9 game with tier 8 tanks. Okay, he's lined up on the Object 252U. And that was short. And now he's definitely getting cover. But not much. Very surprising. This is a game from last year, and that's why the tables look slightly different. Direct hit. 252U lost 213 hit points. And we got the track damage as well, because he got tracked. And our BZ68 managed to get a kill shot. We're 3 up on the enemy. Well, we were 3, now we're 2 up on the enemy. Okay, we've got a GeForce 1006/7 over on the middle island. And that must have been right next door to him. Meanwhile, he's still out in the open. And that ELC, well, he just went down to our M53, M55. So he's actually leading a charmed life at the moment, because none of those enemy tanks have actually managed to spot him, despite the fact that he is basically out in the open. I know he is at the back of the cap area, and that might be at the final extent. Oh, he's got another kill. The GeForce 1006/7 just died. So that's 3 kills now. And EBR90 just joined him back in the garage. And now they're 5 tanks up on the enemy. Yes, he's decided that now he can afford to change positions quite dramatically. And I tend to agree, because at this point in the game, they're so far up on the enemy that they can actually choose some very unusual positions to get the right angle. And yes, he's looking to try and take out the Concept 1B. Reticule styling in. The enemy Arty has been spotted. Unfortunately, just fired, so he's going to have to wait for the reload to go in before he can give another shot on the M53, M55. But they've also spotted the strip. Okay, he's going to have to blind fire the M53, M55. But I think we can see where he is on the minimap and use the minimap as our guide. Rounds out. Okay, didn't get that one, but the K91's taking a pasting. And here's a one-shot now for us. Now, I didn't mention it earlier, but of course it has been mentioned before. It's a 155mm howitzer, capable of 830 alpha and 56mm of pen, and he's using the Nullstun HE to actually do that. Now, the Concept 1B did get a kill there, but I think we can put a round into him if he moves away from that spot. Let's see. This is one of those positions which was actually being facilitated by the fact that he's moved to a new spot to fire from. And our advantage of 5 has now gone down to just 1. Here comes the strip. Fires the round in. He doesn't get anything from that one. So now he's going back to that corner. And we're now even. The annoying thing is that 4 of the enemy tanks are heavy tanks. But heavy tanks tend to be a bit myopic. Myopic is the other way I suppose to say it. They're very short-sighted. And so they might not spot him even if he's running around in the open. Of course, the Lorraine 15551 doesn't turn very well, but it does have decent speed. 60 kilometers an hour maximum. It's one of the faster Artys. Okay, that M53, M55's been spotted again, but our ELC M90 makes certain of it and kills him. But now there's nobody guarding our cap area, and there's only 3 enemy tanks left, all of them heavy tanks. Mind you, they only have 547 hit points between them, so they are potentially one-shots. We saw the Concept 1B, so we know he's a one-shot. As far as we know, the M103 is fairly badly injured. ELC's coming down south. I think he's going to try and creep in by the back door. Now somebody is capping. In fact, they're going after, and they've just killed our M53, M55. There's the M103. He's the one who got the kill. Rouse out. He's gone. So we got our revenge against that guy for killing the M53, M55. But he must have noticed the shell actually came from the west and zapped him from that direction. And he's just told his teammate, the K2, who's also there, the Concept, in the meanwhile, is probably still on the hill. Let's see. Because we don't have anybody to spot for us, so now we're having to judge this. Our ELC is coming back. Ideally, we need to get him to spot for us. Find out where the enemy is. We can't do this blind. It'd be very difficult. So we're aiming for the back of the map at the moment. Back of the cap, I should say. Come on, ELC. You've got to move in there. Get a spot for us. That means he has to brave the guns of the Concept 1B. But if he can survive and get that done, we can get accurate hits from a distance. There's also the possibility we might be able to get a defender medal here. And there he is! Lined up, rounds out. And it goes over the top of the KV2, or the K2 rather, not the KV2. So unfortunately that didn't get the reset. Now we'll get one shot. So unless the ELC can get a reset, we can only just see the guy. And he does get a reset, and that means there's only the Concept 1B left. Now, the thing about the view range on this tank, this Arty, is 270 meters. So we wouldn't see the enemy Concept 1B before he turned up. But at least we know we've been seen. He'd probably get the first shot off and then we'd know where he was. The arc on the gun is 15 degrees either side of the center line, 30 degrees in total. I guess we're tempting the Concept 1B at the moment to consider moving into our cap to try and start the cap. He's got over 4.5 minutes to do that. And the ELC is moving into a position where he might be able to get a spot on him. Of course, it does help that the ELC is one of the more better camouflage tanks. Okay. That might be tempting him to actually go to the cap himself. The ELC has decided to pull away from the hill. If he is going to do that, then it would certainly help if we moved up to the north corner to A1 and were ready to attack the Concept 1B if he fires from the hill. The ELC is looking to see if he can spot the Concept 1B from this direction. Okay, he's gone up there. We're looking from this direction at the moment because we're anticipating that the Concept 1B is actually still in the hill. If he can get a proximity spot, that would help. Of course, the other thing he might do is he might go over to the east side of the map. There are plenty of places on the east side of the map where you can hide in the bushes. We just don't know if the ELC actually does have the commander's vision device. If he does, if he has the CVS, then he should be able to... and he's found him! Oh no! That's not what we wanted. And the Concept 1B knows now that he's safe so long as he's behind that wall. He was trying to find the Concept 1B, but the guy was still in the hill. And now the Concept 1B is going to try and get into the cap area and force us to come and shoot directly at him. He knows we're over this side of the map. He might even try to come over here and shoot us directly. The problem with doing that, of course, is that he has to face the fact that he might get shot at and wiped out. Well, it's too late now for him to start capping and to cap out. So he has to come and kill us if he wants to win. And here he comes. Now, did we get spotted? Yes, we did. If we fire, then obviously he knows we've got a long reload. 24.92 seconds. We did get stunned with that last shot. Well, that's actually, sorry, that was the timer counter for the being spotted. Okay, so we're down to the last few hit points. Our gun's out, so we need to get the gun back in. Here he comes. Oh, what a shot! Beautiful shot by m0sayyeed, and he gets the game. Fantastic. Well, who says that Artys cannot win games? Yes, they do. And look at this example. Second class tanker for m0sayyeed of the H0RNY clan in the Lorraine 15551. He also got a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 6. He got a fighter badge because he got at least 4 kills. In fact, he got 5. One short of getting a Top Gun and 1/3 of the enemy team. And that last kill was the one that won the game for the team. And what a shot it was. He timed it perfectly. The guy came out, he lined it up, he took one shot and wiped the guy out. I said that Concept 1B was a one shot. I'm certain of that. And in fact, he proved that, and it was an excellent shot. Very steady hand indeed. Let's have a look at team score. Well, we can see the highest damage in that game actually went to the Concept 1B. 4,645 hit points of damage, and that got him a high caliber. Second highest damage was the M103, of course, who also got taken out by m0sayyeed. And that guy got a 5 for effect fighter and duelist and 4,128 hit points of damage. And the third highest damage in the game, well, that goes to the Panzerkampfwagen Tiger Mouse, who actually got 2,636 hit points of damage. m0sayyeed only got 1,092, but he did get the highest number of kills in the game alongside the M103. They both got 5 kills apiece. 4 kills went to the M53, M55, so he was also doing exceptionally well. 9 kills by the Arty on his team in that game. That's 3/5 of the enemy team taken out by the Arty. If we look at the third, and that goes to the M53, M55 on the enemy team. He got 3 kills in that game. Everyone else I've got 2 kills or 1. But when it came to base XP, let's get that to go back up. That's better. Okay, and we can see the highest base XP in this game actually went to the m0sayyeed, who got 1,190. He's the only one to get over 1,000 base. The Chrysler K got 920, and m0sayyeed got 839. He fired 14 rounds, got 5 direct hits, 1 penetrating shot, and 8 splash. Damage of 1,092 hit points, of which 941 were at more than 300 meters. The difference was, of course, that Concept 1B, who absolutely hammered at close range. 1 hit received, it was a penetrating shot. That was from the Concept 1B on his rear and stripped him down to basic, very few hit points indeed. 6 enemy vehicles were damaged, 5 were killed. He got 437 hit points of damage assistance. He did get 12 defense points by resetting the cap, missed out on getting a defender medal purely by the fact that the enemy actually did pick the wreck to actually sit behind, which was smart thinking in a sense, but then obviously if an Arty player was in who was thinking of that logically, he might have fired the round at the wreck just to spray it with HE in the hope that some of that damage would actually then go to the target, the M103, who was actually hiding behind the wreck. He also managed to get, on a free-to-play account, 16,663 credits profit, and he also picked up 1,678 experience points as well. So that was a really good game as well. As he said, it was a close call right at the end of the game that he managed to get the kill that won the game for the team. But Arty can win games. It just depends on the Arty player. And m0sayyeed happens to be a very good Arty player because that one really worked. And just look at the number of kills he managed to get. The one he actually one-shotted, or that got the penetrating shot, that was the GeForce 1006, 1007, by the way. We can see there that he did actually penetrate that guy for 422. So that's the only one that he penetrated. But great game. So let's have a look at the third replay and see what happens in that one. The third game is on the Sand River map, or on the East Spawn, and the player is Lost Wall Hacks of the Lost Clan, and he's in platoon with Berserker, also of the Lost Clan, in the Striv S1. Game on! Tier 10 game with Tier 8 tanks on this one. And we've got a rather unusual T92 with fire coming out of the rear of it. Now, it used to be in the past that everybody would head down this way to get into that little bowl at the end, or at least they would try to shoot from positions along the rear of the map. He's waiting at the crossroads there, or not the crossroads, the bend in the river for a shot on the enemy heavies. Bounce out. Gets a hit with the first one, or at least a splash. The Lurva took the hit. Now, as I mentioned before, the standard reload, 28.76 seconds. But in this one, Lost Wall Hacks has actually got a reload time of 25.31. Rounds out. And that's a direct hit. In fact, that guy was stationary. He could have used the armor piercing rounds on that guy. They've got a penetration of 268 millimeters and 460 alpha. He only got 283 from the shot, but he did get 404 from stun assist. So he did get slightly more than he would have with an AP. Rounds out on the H0RNY. Direct hit. And another direct hit also from the T92. So that guy, he's been badly wounded. You can see he's already lost a huge amount. Now it's a blind hit, so it hasn't actually recorded. But now we've got a TNH Viz51. Wait for this guy to proximity spot him. Rounds out. Right into the side. Bit of stun as well, that's going to help. And I like the way he's actually notifying his teammates. Look, stun tank, hit it. But normally I would only hit it once before a shot to let them know that's the one I'm going for. And then once afterwards to remind them that's the tank you need to hit because that will give you stun assist. Rounds out. Another direct hit. There's the H0RNY. He is very, very low on hit points. Well, I say very low. He can still take a couple of hits, but, well, he just took one from one of our teammates, and now he's a one-shot. Okay, 60 TP backs up. And that's only a splash, but it is stun. I think that H0RNY is moving back, not to the cap area, but probably to the top of the hill. Oh, is he? He's circulating, isn't he? He's going round and round. He doesn't know what to do. Okay, let's remind him of what we can do. And now he's out the game. Back in the garage. Yeah, he really shouldn't have stayed there. Not after he got hit. If you ever do, if you're a tank player and you do get hit by Arty, it's a reminder that we can touch you wherever you are on the map most of the time. And it's probably a good idea to leave the area and, you know, go elsewhere. The 60 TP loses another 229. And we're getting loads of stun assist. Enough for an ace tanker, I think, already. Okay, going for him again. Rounds out. Well, landed right in front of him, but it's probably tracked him. And he's fixed his tracks and he's moving back. We're 2 up on the enemy now. Now it goes back down to 1. Rounds out. Oh, both hit the same target. The T92 and our Lorraine 15551 both striking the same target. Now that's sometimes not a good idea. You want to spread your shots amongst as many enemy tanks as you can. Now that M40, M43 has made a huge mistake. And there's the GWE900, the other Arty on their team. Now why I said it's a huge mistake is that now they're out in the open, just south of that hill. It's going to be relatively easy for us to take them out. In fact, the GWE900 is spotted. There goes the TNH. Okay, there you go. There he is. And he takes one hit from one of our teammates, and he's gone. Now it's just the GWE900. Okay, first prototypes in there, and that shell didn't get anything. Well, what we do know is the GWE-100 was killed, so there's nothing more we can get from him. But we've got a couple of tanks here that we can attack, and that's the Foch-B and the SU-130PM. Now they're maneuvering to avoid the shell, zigzagging as they go. Rounds out. And that just sideswiped him, you might say. Now this is a good move because he's actually moving up, and you can do that on the south side of the map. Move up as fast as you can, but the reason why it's a good move is there's an M41D and another tank, which is the H0RNY, the other H0RNY, who are moving in on our cap area. If we stay where we were, we might be in trouble. There's also a T54 just north side of the river, and so ideally we need to put some shells into those two groups. Okay, there's the H0RNY. Firing in. He fired a bit prematurely, but it still worked. 278. Change position. Go down into this little groove here in the dunes. He did get spotted. Okay, not going to worry about being hit by enemy Arty, because there is none. But he did take a round from the M41D, and now the H0RNY is going to chase after us, I think. The T92 on our team did actually move as fast as he could to get as far west as he could. And in fact, now the H0RNY is actually coming around the corner, and that's the end of him. But it wasn't us that killed him, it was the T92 behind us. So he was ready for that guy. There's only 5 enemy left, but there's only 5 on our team as well. The SU-130PM has been spotted. The Striv is moving to a position where he can intercept the M41 if he's found coming after us. There's the SU-130PM. The T92 is moving to a position where he might be able to hit that guy if he goes up on top of the hill. But meanwhile, the M41 did try to come back after us, and our platoon mate, Berserker, got the better of him. Okay, so we're going to try and put a shell. No, we're just not far north enough to actually get a shell in there. And the T54 is still fairly close. Ideally, we do need to go a little further to the west. We're so far down in the dip, we can't really easily get a shot on the T54. But we can give it a go. Rounds out. It was close, but not close enough. Pretty sure the T54 is going to try and come around. Oh, don't go any further. The Foch could see us. There he is. Lining up. Go for it. Rounds out. And he got a direct hit. But no, you shouldn't be headed this way. You should be going down.
We're done for. Everyone get out.
T54 did manage to get around on us. Yes, that was kind of unfortunate. He tried to come back, and he should have actually gone over to the west to help the T92. He could still shoot at the cap area from a long way away. But if he went out to the open, he was visible from the north bank of the river. And the moment he was spotted by the Foch-B, that went straight to the T54, who had a clean shot and wiped him out. So, unfortunately, that's where we are at the moment. And we've just lost Berserker, which means now the enemy cap area, our cap area rather, belongs to the enemy. Our T92 HMC is not going to be going back to save the cap. And there's 2 enemy tanks at the enemy cap area. Yeah, that T-54 first prototype's going to try and make trouble. Anyway, rather than watch this on the mini-map, let's see if we can get over there. The T92 has already gone. And now the T54 first prototype is coming up behind the Object 268 version 5. Meanwhile, the SU-130PM is trying to engage him from the front. In fact, he's getting 3 tanks after him at the same time now, because the T-54's come over from the east side of the map. And that's it. Game over. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was an ace tanker game for Lost Wall Hacks of the Lost Clan in the Lorraine 15551. He managed to get a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he managed to get 8 in that game. And he also got a Confederate for hitting more of the enemy than anyone else on his team. But sadly, the moment he pulled along the dunes and got a little further east, the dunes dropped in height. And yes, the Foch B could see him the moment he fired. And as a consequence of that, the T-54 was able to get a shot in from a different direction. Let's have a look at the team score. Well, we can see the highest damage in that game went to the Foch, who got 6,203 hit points of damage. Second highest damage went to the T-54, 4,776. And the third highest damage went to our Object 277 with 4,331. And we can see Lost War Hacks got 2,767 in that game. When it came to kills, we can see top scorer was the M41D, who got 4 kills. 3 kills went to the Foch and the T-54, and also the T-92 HMC on our team. And there's Lost War Hacks with just 1 kill. And his platoon mate, Berserker, also got 1 kill. And when it came to base XP, we can see top scorer is the T-54 with 1,325, followed by the T-54 first prototype with 1,119, and third was the M41D, who managed 962. He fired 18 rounds, got 7 direct hits, no penetrations, but 15 splash. Damage of 2,767, all with of more than 300 meters. He received 2 hits, I'm afraid both were penetrations, and yes, he was out the game. 8 enemy vehicles damaged, 1 killed, and he got 4,002 hit points of stun assist or 14 stuns. He did pick up a lot of stun assists when his teammates were actually paying attention. On a premium count, he actually earned 41,838 credits profit, including the Achievements Award for getting the Confederate, 3,408 credits from that. And he also took away 2,579 experience points out of that one. At least he enjoyed the game. He said it was a good one, and it was close. I think, yeah, it was going well right up to the moment that the enemy managed to turn it around by completing their attack on our cap area, trying to come after both Arty. Of course, one of them had already left the nest. That was the T-92. And Lost War Hacks had to move, but he was still within sight of the enemy. And that's why he took 2 hits in the towards the end of the game. I hope you enjoyed all 3 of those replays. First of them on the Ghost Town map, the second one on the Mines map, and that was that brilliant kill at the end. And lastly, Lost War Hacks on Sand River. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a like, and thank you for watching.